A su majestad el rey Otunfo Osei Tutu II, rey del pueblo Ashanti de Ghana, a pronunciar el discurso inaugural.
Mema krobia iri fiang mani kotok ngen. Mema krobia iri fiang mani kotok ngen. Asante chantio champonu fungen. Asante chantio champonu fungen. Asante sesebo simenditien. Asante sesebo simenditien. Obia satinedwe kasangen. Obia satinaje kasangen. Osetutwe mi modi nwerisio. Osetutwe mi modi nwerisio. Watch down quality one pimsi kapobano. Why in the Benya second teach leg watch down quality one pimsi kapobano. Obinya Sabian ko baby. Obinya Sabian ko baby. I'm not telling you about the Mefe Kasange.
Abuja mama wakwaba na mfamra unity kasafo nyine so subscribe fama ye na share na yemfa stories dodo na engu akachi ema bibia ankoso kama enchimi emfama wa chose enya sanketwa kra ye bia pro dia to se bebo dwaton de on the road amon amanta se ne jenso akoso de ama wa nya sanketwa Alex Tito meta and stainless works fiber proof China doors remote control gate barristers ene ne meka hunyo se frɛ no na ne twetwe nkomo 0541 901-819 Alex Tito ofena obenya no na twenkomo ama so otime dujuma bia ese na efata e wona kachia obohunu Ashanti region entuni ne ntwetwe ankomo mebacho asase dasu ya asase a yeton na e Ashanti region krono din e de kwabrisa fu kwabrist enewo krono kura esopa na ebie nsuso nti wa opasa ase ba ku mienu miensa ene ne nan so ato no from na no twetwe nkomo 0597193793 na ososo wonya asase emfani ujum
ano aye die tie ensoso ene no Chunibenos aka no hubiem Chunibenos fire obitise eye Calvin Taylor Captain Smart and after TV3 General aka media general Dumekonu na uwe ka media general Dumekonu bonu no maye bonu o maye Calvin Taylor na zo Chunibenos na ne se wasi abi Akufo ado wo so no Captain Smart so asemu di Akufo ado atem left and right center edi matem a na ko ba ni se na de mahama abana nyema bi koso na echi still captain say obe defend ababa wo ya na fake doctor yi ne ho asem captain defend and sim bi aba we defend 11 years abai captain abe defend na we ena twindina say hango fo nyina ye nkwasiafo a omunitiri na omunsan so ni adwene ne boafu pa o chese NDC basa ko position according to Twini Jonas ensemo a ode atudwa
Captain Smart utise kura wanim se bidie ade tina mu nyina mu ntime kasa wasiafo mu ye selfish people ajimefo mu buo ena Akufo ade di yila bi ba mu di na tema no pato nwe yo ma ba kwasia pa ni di yila bi aba ne ma kama no tum nya betua muka stupid people mafu ne hia mu mafu ena mo de nam mafu ena mo de nam the Captain Smart kwasia pa o mafu ne hia mu they are not journalists they are not there for Ghanaians they are there for their stomach Captain Smart pa na Akufo ade na wo so a kasa mre de TV telephone oni TV mu ni twa asere kwasiafo stupid people mu afiafi kwasiafo de mu ye journalist mampanyin bi bana onye na mbedi na tema foforo so bana ono so nya mu ni na tem da bi magimi ma kwaji sika sa sika na dwoma ma etuatua ni nyina ka obi na onye sika stop dum so no kwasiafo we nyina de o magufie na wo tuo muka bekem tele jimifo we ni wakobie TV ama no every month wo tua $5,000 ansino ato aduani ama one ne nkwasiama adi wabrochire o mane so ne nkopa adwuma nye obetimi akoye wo mata adwuma onye bafan onye apache obetimi akoye adwuma di $20 per hour enso joma ma wajimi nti wasisa yesika de ma omo enti sa no ma we nyina aka ho bi na sa meja mfia sisa de aka edi tutofie ma hyawofo won nya meche na ansansani dali kwasiaba we na joma ma kotofie ama no on sa no ma we nyina aka ho bi
aware no aye nsem no bi eno no Sadi Kadam is a very secret video to us drip machines chese abano ebra abanda da ne de ba ye Yeru Akufo Addo kofa ba ya o ka so de be ye adwuma e o constituency ni ade no awusia ade ba kwa beto dwa kire se NDC aban ba ye drip machines no mo de ye omo project a chese private project bi di 2 galam say ebi so di dwo mo nkofo lands ebi di ye de omo pa according to nchemu ne chese aban no empenifo ministry no mu na chem fidie no a chese obi ha de ye de ope enso so ehonom. Meanwhile the purpose entia machines ne bae no nyina ne se eba na ba beboa constituency eba na ba beboa district eba na ba beboa nkuru na ekitwa ho ahia no nanso so NDC aban afa afidie na odi di ni djuma anso so ope ahese no so akwa yesempi ehonom yenkoti
na Ghana for muntie yanhwehwe mu aya na kire se drip machines no assemblies no ede ye adwuma gu omubotom munyina mudin ebetodwa the assemblies doing that and the people leading that you will be surprised say we are aware of mu amoji sika gu omubotom na mode cars ne koye private business munnim say investigators ne mo abedin komo ama ebi ma tues kama mo ama magis kana man record ya to book biam magie gu omubotom ede akofa anwea akogu obi asase so abra eye machine yesi emfanya adwuma emfama assembly ne nipa omote ho adani yedi ye ho abrosa assembly sin keten Ghana ha enya o man kese o man ne kra yesen na nka mo grader baako mo tipa track baako ka ye de fansuo bi baako ho chese niam ye de akwan ne nyina no mo excavator ebi kra wo excavator esi ho a ne nyina ban ato amamo anka kwan bi ani ho anka wo seye monchimon ka wo krom ha because kwan wudwie itimi di 6 months na eda so sensuo ntoton sen na nka nsuo totoi nka mo yi gata yi nyina ma efie bia ana ba bia obi ati bia no ye yi gata kama because nya fe na mokoto machine. Meanwhile the people there are using these cars and machinery for private businesses omo de ebi ton wanwea eya no kre sa obetima free assemblies ni bi se ope machine bi dia fa anwea ombekwa akofa anwea na jiska na gu ombotom bakas ne de ya pake jese ade a omodi peska. Meanwhile the purpose of the cars no sanke ye de bayi yakwan wo areas a mote no enso ekwan bi da wo area ho a akọ afenie ye ntwa so da. Some of them in Ashanti region, Western region particularly, Greater Accra. Yenyamunyina, and we are waiting. Say a dini bebe toga. Ni ebe hu kwaya ye demo befaso. Ntori ni lante vandapoy. This is a very serious matter. Muma me the list of the machines are ye dema every assembly for drip machines, you know. Water tanker, assembly biya will be. Tipper truck, assembly biya will be. Omuwe sa friends a P holder was said there no wheel holder and ye P ye two yes omuwo excavator assembly bia excavator ya to bia momo and omuwo any den back holder na say back holder assembly bia will be omuwo concrete mixture ombetimi ato abo a mixe edi aya gata enti eye adapasem ena eye assembly for no sika na omode niam no epe ebi di si omodan. We know all of you ebi di si omo ankasa dan machines ni go ha omode si omo amodan roller eni machines ni bi ne bi ewom. Previously, the assemblies no near man kakra. Say the assembly be to me say a kind of baby.
Okay, I know dear tier and so I don't know. Now I did about concern say you were soon for say to Asante Kotoko Hineni you were Akufo Addo Kushai. The blue Mushai no Akufo Addo use the word the King of Kings at the motum for. Now bro friend the King of Kings and asem na ba ya semwa Ghana hanom obi e ka bie omwa enyi ntumi so tum for King of Kings na Akufo Addo nya confirm say otum for King of Kings and no doubt say obi betimi a challenge because say omampani bi enya confirm ya otrans na realize ya you understand it and you know say angofo bi na envy otumfo anunti ena amana basa yenkoti ensemo atimi akoso good morning show.
People who are close to Asante Hene have been telling me that whenever he meets Nana Akufo-Addo refers to him as a king of kings. And so when I saw the video today, and when Nana Akufo-Addo was meeting Asante Hene at the front door of his home in Nima, and he says king of kings, I said, oh wow, so that's true. Because I've heard people who are close to Asante Hene say that Akufo-Addo always addresses him as king of kings. I love the camaraderie between the two men, and they look very, very genuine. It looked very, very nice. Here are some of the photographs. I'll show you the video of Otumfo telling the story many years ago. And I hope that some of us who are now working, when we grow up, will be able to tell the story of such sustained friendship. Asante Hene told the story of how himself and Akufo-Addo had gone to buy two Mercedes cars, one for Akufo-Addo's mother and one for Akufo-Addo himself. And Akufo-Addo asked him, Asante Hene, at that time he wasn't Asante Hene, he was Bema Kwekudia. And they came to the same house that he visited today to hand over the car to Nana Akufo-Addo's mother, late mother, Adeline Akufo-Addo, the former first lady. So here's one of the photographs. Let me see whether I can identify the people here. I believe I see Otuo Siribo. I believe I see Kofi Bedu. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say something about this man, Kofi Bedu. This is Kofi Bedu here, and he's been one of the most important journalists of all time. He was a journalist in the independence era, and he ran through journalism. He did sports journalism. He did everything. He became the managing director of the Graphic Corporation for many years. He had excellent relations with Victor Owusu and all the forebears of the New Patriotic Party, the UP party. Kofi Bedu was an Nkrumahist, but he was very close friends with the UP people. Today, after retiring, Kofi Bedu is probably pushing 90 years old. After retiring, he serves as Asante Hene in the communication space. Kofi Bedu was the managing director of the Daily Graphic for many years. I've never had occasion to pay tribute to such a distinguished journalist, and I'm delighted that I have the occasion to do so now. That is Kofi Bedu. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see him in Kumasi, pay him a salute and tell him that I said that we salute him forever and ever. Kofi Bedu is truly distinguished as a journalist. Many people don't know him. He's not one who looks for the limelight, but he's very effective. He's been managing director of the Graphic for about 20 years after being a senior most editor, and he doesn't like the limelight, so you would never hear of him. But that's Kofi Bedu. Very important person. Otuo Siribo, the Jabi Hene, former chairman of the Council of State. You see him over there. This is Nana Hene, who is like the secretary to the Asante Hene. Of course, this is Asante Hene. I'd like to say something also about this man here. The man in the shirt. He's called Mr. Ebeleduse. Ebeleduse is one of the longest standing friends of Akufo-Addo. He's been Akufo-Addo's friend forever, from the 1960s up till now. And I once saw him, I believe it was in 2018, at the birthday party in Esla Usu's house. And so I engaged him and I asked him that, why doesn't he? So I sort of introduced myself, but I know you. And then he started telling me stories about how he saw me in Akufo-Addo's house in East Legon. And I said, I know you were at Joy FM at the time. I know you. And I said, okay, Uncle Bell, why didn't you take up any position in Akufo-Addo's government? He said, oh, me? I'm not a politician. That kind of thing. He's a very nice man. He's a very loyal friend of Nana Akufo-Addo, Ebeleduse. There he is. I think Ebeleduse is also pushing 90. I believe so. I think he's a bit older than Akufo-Addo, but that's one of the oldest friends of Akufo-Addo, Ebeleduse. He also was in the house when the Asante Hene went in. Of course, Niteko Tego, my good friend. I'm fighting with him, so I'm not going to say much about him. Every day we are fighting. Niteko Tego, and of course, the venerable First Lady, former First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo was also there. This was such an impressive visit that Asante Hene visited his friend, one of his best friends. Here is Akufo-Addo introducing Frema Opare, the former chief of staff to Nana Asante Hene. Captain Koda is another person that I have to speak about here. Captain Koda also is one of the oldest friends of Akufo-Addo. Captain Koda, together with Sami Michel and others, and the other guy, Lieutenant, I remember the name, but Captain Koda was one of the principal architects of the June 4th revolution. The story was told in Burma camp that when Captain Koda drove the Pins Goa, there's something called Pins Goa, it's a military vehicle. When he drove the Pins Goa through Congo Junction on the morning of June 4th, all the people in 5BN knew that the coup had succeeded. Yes, Captain Koda, he happened to fall out to Flight Lieutenant Rawlings later on. He went into exile, and whilst he was in Ghana, they tried to prosecute him under the June 4th, and Akufo-Addo was always his lawyer since 1979. Captain Koda has been by the side of Akufo-Addo up till today. When you go around Akufo-Addo, you see a lot of that. You see a lot of people who have been loyal to him, have been around him for long, very long. I mean, some of his bodyguards, they've been with him since 82. I mean, it's amazing. You see that with Akufo-Addo quite a lot. I think I've said that before. You see people who have been there for so long, and they are still there. It's a testament to the president, former president's loyalty to his friends and his people, you can always get that with Akufo-Addo. Captain Koda, good evening to you, and thank you very much. That's that Asante Hene, the unmistakable figure of Nana Asante Hene sitting in there with Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo, people say these days that he doesn't wear his glasses. I don't know whether he's gone for contact lenses. I'll be going to visit him one of these days, and I'll be asking him that, why is he taking off his glasses? And if he gives me the answer and he wants me to share with you, I'll come and share with you. More of the photograph. Albert Kandapa, the venerable Minister for National Security, was also there in the present. One of the greatest friends of Akufo-Addo as well, Albert Kandapa. Who else is in the picture? Okay, the introduction. This is Dominic Nitiwul, the former Minister for Defense, who is still in Parliament, member of Parliament for Bimbilla, one of also the loyalists of Akufo-Addo, Dominic Nitiwul. Many will remember the speech Akufo-Addo gave when he was making him minister about how the two of them bonded so much in Parliament. Dominic Nitiwul has remained on the side of Akufo-Addo. And then there you go. I see Gabi Ochodaku in the photograph as well. I saw Abdullahi Jinapo earlier, but I don't have a photo of him now. That's Akufo-Addo addressing them. I'll be showing the video where he's talking so you see it. But this was an impressive visit. Asante. Oh yeah, this is a photograph I'm looking for. So these are the suspects. The usual suspects. From left to right to left. Samuel Abdullahi Jinapo, former Minister for Lands and former Deputy Chief of Staff. Asensu Boache, Abdullahi Jinapo is member of Parliament for Damongo. Asensu Boache is member of Parliament for Bantama. And then Dominic Nitiwul, Bimbilla, and the ultimate Alexander Fenyomake, member of Parliament for Winneba, Albert Kandapa, former member of Parliament for Ifija Secretary. These are the suspects, the Akufo-Addo loyalists. Abdullahi Jinapo has not changed his facial expression. He likes to make this facial expression. And that's, all of them were there. And who is this? It's a Fenyomake making obeisance to the Asante Hene. This must have been a very, very good event. Very, very glorious event as well. As Alexander Fenyomake with Asante Hene again. There's Asante Hene making a point to the group. Are there any more faces that I can identify that I've not spoken about? Ebeledusa is in your photograph over here. I think this is Nana Jiman Prempe, but we all know him as Ashimotin, who lost his mother not too long ago. Ashimotin Demrifadue, as I will say to him these days, he's now Nana Jiman Prempe. He's the Millennium Excellence Awards founder, and he still works with the awards that recently delivered his awards event. Here is the same group of people, but with Fawaz, who was also the Deputy Chief of Staff, and now Fremont Pare as well. This is the Akufo-Addo squad. Oh, I love this photograph. All the Ahimfo, together with Nana Asante Hene and the Akufo-Addo people, got a great photograph at the president's home in Nima, where Akufo-Addo has retired to, the home that he had lived since the 1970s with his father, and he's retired there. Akufo-Addo must feel very good. I mean, to stay in the house at 82, in a house where you have lived since you were 20-something, and at 82, you are still staying in the same house, I think it's a blessing. It's amazing. Many years ago, I had a conversation with what's his name? My friend, the perennial presidential candidate, Mahama Ayariga. No, is it Mahama Ayariga? Not the one, the majority leader. Hassan Ayariga. And Hassan Ayariga was arguing with me over Akufo-Addo issues. Of course, everyone was arguing with me those days. He said, Paul, but your man, why? I said, what has he done? He said, but old man like that, he's 70 and he's staying in his father's house. Is that the kind of person you want to vote for him as president? I said, what do you mean? He said, Nima is not his father's house. When we were children, his father was staying there. He's still staying there. I had such a huge, big laugh. And when I told Akufo-Addo, he laughed more than I laughed. I went to him, I said, C1, as we used to call him those. I said, C1, Hassan Ayariga says that you are not a useful person because you are still staying in your father's house. He burst out laughing. He said, where did you find him? I said, I had a conversation with him. And that's
all right. I know, yeah, and also so etimi akoso ewo honom na chese sapepe and also etimi akoso ewo ndi ombani Akufo-Addo enya confirm Dormaahene ene omo ka hu nyina no they should back off omo ntimi compare omo to 2-4 never and ain't seem so that because they know say 2-4 ahini no be NC exceptional achese edamufo oman na ewo mu no o chance na say o check in ema you will know say 2-4 na hini very powerful a supremo achese ebi eni oman mu a eno so ene de atimi akoso ewo hono na achese sapepe eno so etie ewo hono mu a yedi mu nsem enso so emamu awshono so tina na piao ni otu kro wikra ran so asante kotoko hene otumfo sai tutu anyamekese no ano na achese yeni sansi ya ne yeni age yetini din ya na yetini nka na ahoto ahosepe ni gie enso so etimi abafie enti ya no bi na mede atomonim enso so hono ya kodon construction say abo na apebi atopa anwa pe blocks edisi adan mason for carpenters, plumbers, electricians, stylists, no more kahuna pese or may juman from why I could also be mobi. Kama pa or machine between show na catch freno. It was 0554 360 760 and I say 0554 0926803666 na no into and komo ano Yakodom Constructions and I make for Namidi Ama Unity Online TV. Honey, don't forget to subscribe and share. Yeah, the more updates at the blog and so Nami Adum na Bibiaku, you was answering the share. Yakram, bye.
Oman say eba say yensi dan na yemfa na de emfanye adwuma eye company ba ko pe na mekan for dia mawo no ne Alex Tito Company Limited say wesi udan wi pa abrosan wesi say dentia na pesa hihye bagua proof eye root control gate or to feel ano say na be ya obi ani ho ne no a ni aso a na bi dia mawo say we ye do more than one we just a container we stainless a two feel now feel your shen boga o say we have dia abusuya e be hu say the be wa bebra anasi ni bebra e Alex Tito Company Limited and also in Dijuma if you know say hotel say a down there na you see now say we na dia stainless bebra proof this is share and money we modern door we China doors even know the China doors no the more for na say a promise say ya to say no but Alex Tito sebra we China door no be no Ghana had ye kama e dia amount e dan fe obisi no na bibia koso kama also the amount stainless no the glass is big good no no friend na mono no twetwen ko no nsa na odwuma fe Alex Tito or professional na nsa na odwuma bi ni twego e fidie su etu ya ho Unity Online TV na oni yen edi dwuma no hwe say Alex Tito be odwuma bia no ho tikama e na o sentimental no kuma se na obi Alex Tito na waye dan ni odwuma area na di bia the proof China doors no still so be kama area now 0541901819 Alex Tito nsa na odwuma kama pa Alex Tito metal and stainless work fantastic one. Follow me on Andrew Chenkomo.